Hey guys, thanks for watching. Going to tell the story of my first deer hunt, but before I get to that, I want to shout out to Ash and Norma for taking me up to their cabin, getting some great photos and footage, and just making it a really special time for me and my son. So we'd spent the last 2 days, mornings and evenings, sitting in the shooting house on a clear cut, waiting for a legal buck to show up. And finally, on the last half hour of shooting light on the last day we were going to be up there, this 3-point buck emerges from the left side of the clearing behind three does in his family group. And we can't take the shot though because he ends up coming out and standing right in front of one of the other deer. The 50 cal certainly can't shoot shoot him when he's got deer behind him that you probably maim or injure. And so my heart is pounding though as I'm getting ready to take this shot, just waiting for him to move away. And I told myself I'd be calm and collected on my first hunt, and but when that moment occurs, when that legal buck appears, my heart was racing, and I got really excited. Uh, Thankfully, I had Ash in my to the left of me, giving me some good advice as I waited patiently for the buck to move away. So he moves away, um, but his back is to me, and he's about 50, 60 yards away. And then he starts to quarter slightly, and Ash starts whispering in my ear, "Drop him, drop him." And I get ready. I line up to take the shot right behind his front legs, and I pull the trigger, and there's a very loud click, and Ash tells me, "Hey, do it again," because he thinks maybe the primer didn't go off in the muzzleloader. But I got to take you back an hour earlier, where Ash, was walking through some common mistakes people make in these hunts, and said, look, one of them is they forget to put the primer cap into the muzzle loader. And I'd been taking it in and out, multiple days, multiple times, as we go in and out of the shooting house and put the rifle away for uh, in the house, and you want to unload it and remove the cap. So I'd been keeping the cap in my pocket. Well, I felt around and I didn't feel the cap in there. Now I should have opened the action and looked for the cap in the gun, but I actually just settled for, hey, it's not in my pocket. That means it must be in the gun. Well, when I heard that click, so did the deer, and they all took off. Kind of knew what had happened and opened the action. Sure enough, there's no cap in there. I couldn't believe it. The deer we'd been waiting for the last 2 days scattered, and I reached my pocket and searched more thoroughly, and of course, there's the cap. So I pop it back in. Ash and I are just beside ourselves. We're so mad that he had just mentioned this an hour before, and we missed our shot. Well, as we're sort of beside ourselves with this, and frustrated, the layout of the clearing is that while there's a clear area on the left where they emerged from, and a stand of trees that they had disappeared behind, that they may reemerge dead center, 12 o'clock, in what is sort of a shooting alley that's been cleared exactly for this purpose. It's not more than 15 feet across, but sure enough, as we're sitting there whispering, talking, first doe appears, then the second, then the third, and then last is the 3-point. And he goes, it stands about 40 yards away, perfect broadside shot waiting there for me. And Ash is whispering in my ear, drop him, take him. And, my heart is beating so loud at this point. And I line up the sight, I pull the trigger, nothing happens. Uh, Ash can't believe it, but I look at, and of course I have not pulled the hammer back on the rifle in my sort of buck fever. I've totally forgotten that step, so I correct it, I cock it, pull the hammer back, and now he is almost the other side of the shooting alley. I've got maybe 2 seconds left, and I line it up and pull the trigger all in sort of one moment, and you hear this loud boom as the muzzle loader goes off, and big cloud of smoke. Can't see anything except I see all the deer scatter. No idea whether I hit him or not, but Ash says, looks like you hit him. I saw him flinch. And then he starts laughing. I think he's laughing so hard, I think he's going to fall out of the shooting house. He still can't believe that we got a shot at him, on the third try, with the missing cap and that whole mess. So he's dying laughing. We wait about 10 minutes and then we go down and just check out the spot where the shot, we believe the shot connected with the buck, and there's blood on the ground. And so we want to give him more time, but we go back and get his wife Norma, my son Ethan, and set out to track the blood trail in the snow, which you can see in the video footage that we captured.
So the guys finally got a deer, and right now we're tracking the blood. There they are, Kevin. So Ash and Kyle finally got a deer after a couple of days waiting, and now we're tracking the deer. There they are.
Now, what are you going to do? I'd go around, walk by the head, and catch its eye with the muzzle. And see if there's a reflex. No reflex is dead. Go to the left. Congratulations. Kyle, you couldn't have made a bigger shot. That is a absolute picture-perfect shot. Congratulations, son.
Is it okay to touch it?
Yeah. Go right ahead.
Taking the cap out.